Mike and I met with his dad that morning at 8 o'clock. He was already busy, having been at work for more than an hour. His construction supervisor was just leaving in his pickup truck as I walked up to his simple, small, and tidy home. Mike met me at the door. Dad's on the phone, and he said to wait on the back porch, Mike said as he opened the door. The old wooden floor creaked as I stepped across the threshold of the aging house. There was a cheap mat just inside the door. The mat was there to hide the years of wear from countless footsteps that the floor had supported. Although clean, it needed to be replaced. Good morning, everybody, and I'm back at home, which is going to be so much more comfortable for doing the readings. For the last 2 days, I've been in a place where there was absolutely no internet for me, and I had to do it from the car and look for places where I could find some internet to be able to do the readings for you. Anyhow, we are reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which I've been really excited to read for you. We're up to part 3 of chapter 1. Let's get into it. We're almost at the end of the week. Hopefully you're going strong, working on your goals. Let's learn some lessons from a Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And we're at the part of the chapter that's called The Lesson Begins. And my computer is making noises because my computer makes noises sometimes. Mike and I met with his dad that morning at 8 o'clock. He was already busy, having been at work for more than an hour. His construction supervisor was just leaving in his pickup truck as I walked up to his simple, small, and tidy home. Mike met me at the door. Dad's on the phone, and he said to wait on the back porch, Mike said as he opened the door. The old wooden floor creaked as I stepped across the threshold of the aging house. There was a cheap mat just inside the door. The mat was there to hide the years of wear from countless footsteps that the floor had supported. Although clean, it needed to be replaced. I felt claustrophobic as I entered the narrow living room that was filled with old, musty, overstuffed furniture that today would be collector's items. Sitting on the couch were 2 women, both a little older than my mum. Across from the women sat a man in workman's clothes. He wore khaki slacks and a khaki shirt, neatly pressed but without starch, and polished work boots. He was about 10 years older than my dad. They smiled as Mike and I walked past them towards the back porch. I smiled back shyly. Interestingly, if you read a very good book, if I can think of the name of it, Pitch Anything by Clapp, he talks about the fact that corporate offices make you wait, and they have this whole scenario to get you a little bit uncomfortable so that they are in control of the conversation. And that's the impression that I get when I read this chapter, and it fascinates me. And we'll talk more about it if I think that it's going to, bring something up for us. Who are those people? I asked. Oh, they work for my dad. The older man runs his warehouses, and the women are the managers of the restaurants. And as you arrived, you saw the construction supervisor who's working on a road project about 50 miles from here. His other supervisor, who is building a tract of houses, left before you got here. Does this go on all the time? I asked. Not always, but quite often, said Mike, smiling as he pulled up a chair to sit down next to me. I asked my dad if he would teach us to make money, Mike said. Oh, and what did he say to that? I asked with cautious curiosity. Well, he had a funny look on his face at first, and then he said he would make us an offer. Oh, I said, rocking my chair back against the wall. I sat there perched on 2 rear legs of the chair. I still not rocking on my chair. Mike did the same thing. Do you know what the offer is? I asked. No, but we'll soon find out. Suddenly, Mike's dad burst through the rickety screen door and onto the porch. Mike and I jumped to our feet, not out of respect, but because we were startled. Ready, boys? He asked as he pulled up a chair to sit down with us. We nodded our heads as we pulled our chairs away from the wall to sit in front of him. He was a big man, about 6 feet tall and 200 pounds. I have no idea what that is in centimeters and meters and kilograms. My dad was taller, about the same weight, and 5 years older than Mike's dad. They sort of looked alike, though not of the same ethnic makeup. Maybe their energy was similar. Mike says you want to learn to make money. Is that correct, Robert? I nodded my head quickly, but with a little trepidation. He had a lot of power behind his words and smile. And also that office setup is a power play, but that's another story. Okay, here's my offer. I'll teach you, but I won't do it classroom style. You work for me. I'll teach you. You don't work for me, I won't teach you. I can teach you faster if you work, and I'm wasting my time if you just want to sit and listen like you do in school. That's my offer, take it or leave it. Ah, may I ask you a question first? I asked. No, take it or leave it. I've got too much work to do to waste my time. If you can't make up your mind decisively, then you'll never learn to make money anyway. Opportunities come and go. Being able to know when to make quick decisions is an important skill. You have the opportunity that you asked for, school is beginning, or it's over in 10 seconds. Mike's dad said with a teasing smile. Take it, I said. Take it, said Mike. Good, said Mike's dad. Mrs. Martin will be by in 10 minutes. After I'm through with her, you'll ride with her to my superette, and you can begin working. I'll pay you 10 cents an hour, and you work 3 hours every Saturday. But I have a softball game today, I said. Mike's dad lowered his voice to a stern tone. Take it or leave it, he said. I'll take it, I replied, choosing to work and learn instead of playing. So we're going to stop there for a moment. Actually, we're already at the next part of the chapter, which is good. And we'll probably look for small little sections like that, even though the next one goes on forever and ever and ever. But I think the most important things to realize are that there are power plays. Whether this is one or not, I'm not sure. So Mike that might know the psychology behind setting up an office with somebody who's going to be your secretary. And, well, he doesn't have a secretary, but secretaries are set up there to make you a little bit uncomfortable, to make it seem very formal, in order to be able to protect the boss from people who are going to waste his time. And it's saying, we are in control here, you are nobody, and when you come in to negotiate, we are going to use that to our advantage. Walmart and a couple of really big companies are extremely good at doing that. The other thing is the lesson of the 10 seconds to make up your mind. I read my first personal development book when I was about 21 or 22. I found it in the library over in the Netherlands where I was studying at university. And it also talked about the importance of making very quick decisions and saying that a lot of people, when they're ordering from a menu at an Italian restaurant, they will order the same thing and they'll spend maybe 5 minutes looking at the menu and taking their sweet time and looking at everything in detail, and then still order the exact same thing that they usually would, staying inside their comfort zone and not having something different and testing something new out, which is a great skill to have. So you have that which you can use to practice. So go to a restaurant next time and decide within 30 seconds, set a timer for yourself, decide within 30 seconds, and you will strengthen that muscle that allows you to make quicker decisions. And wealthy people are extremely good at making fast decisions. So you will see great advantages to doing that. The other interesting thing is that the same thing happens in Think and Grow Rich. So when Napoleon Hill is offered by Andrew Carnegie to write the book, the story goes that Andrew Carnegie had a stopwatch under his desk, and he set it for 30 seconds, I think it was. I don't even know if they had stopwatches back in those days. They probably did. Anyhow, Andrew Carnegie is a rich man, so he probably had access to technology that didn't come out for years and years after that. Anyhow, he has a timer under his desk, and he has 30 seconds. And if Napoleon Hill wouldn't have said yes to the offer within 30 seconds, Andrew Carnegie would have stood up, left the room, and offered it to somebody else. So opportunities come very often and very fast. And if you don't take them immediately, then sometimes you're going to lose that momentum that you would need in order to be able to use it to your advantage and actually take hold of that opportunity. So learning to make very quick decisions is extremely important, and I'm glad that it came up in the book. And so that is what I want to share today, based off of those few short pages. But I think it's a really important lesson that you can take, and there's some things that you can do in real life and see how that works out for you. So it was great having you today. And I really appreciate you taking the time to come and watch me read and give my commentary. But I would also love to hear more from you. And at the moment, the way this is set up, you can only hear my commentary. So if you want to leave your comments, if you want to give me your thoughts, there's two options that you have. You can go to the YouTube channel, Passive Cashflow Club, and you'll be able to find the recordings of the previous book that we read and the previous chapters and parts of this book that we've been reading. Make sure that you subscribe so that you can get access to the parts of the chapters that you might otherwise miss. So you don't want to miss out on that. And you can also see what I am up to and what the business is up to on Instagram at business_team_6_official. And you will find me there. You can obviously browse what I'm posting, and we post quite often. And we're looking at adding even more value in the posts that we put up for you. And you can also message me directly. So right now, I still have the capability of doing that. I'm not sure how long I'll be able to keep doing that, but obviously that is going to be a possibility to get in touch with me and also ask questions and leave your comments. So I'm looking forward to that. Make sure you take that opportunity. I'll give you 30 seconds to do it. And then I'm looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another reading with Menno, and we'll be continuing Rich Dad Poor Dad. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it.